Hello, everybody, and good evening, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Maria Reacts, and I've had something on my mind since I saw it earlier this week, and I wanted to pop in and show you all. I wanted to see if you saw this. So, for the first time, I actually agree with Black Lives Matter, the organization. My understanding is this is the global organization, not the grassroots version of Black Lives Matter. But they made a post earlier this week, and they were none too pleased with the whole situation regarding Kamala Harris being lifted up as the Democratic nominee for president because no one got to vote for her. The decision is being made for the people, for people who vote Democrat. So she has been lifted up as the Democratic nominee. No one's had opportunity to compete with her. And on top of that, there's some invisible VP that she's the VP she has not even selected yet. Sorry, that's my puppy. She either has not selected yet or has not revealed who that person is. Now, mind you, this is the party that's always screaming that Donald Trump is how do they say it? Existential threat to democracy. And they, the Democratic Party, have subverted a whole process of coming up with the Democratic nominee for president, and that person being Kamala Harris. Now, unless they go ahead and have the Democratic National Convention, when is it supposed to be? Either August or September, and they allow people to come forth who are going to be able to compete, like go through the natural process. But if you think about it, why would anybody? Let's first go here. So what I'll do, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go over to Twitter. I want y'all to see this because I want you to be able to read along with me. Okay, let me see how. Okay, so see this? Okay, Black Lives Matter. Timeline of events. First, let's look at what date did they put this out. Let me go back. This was July 23rd. Watch this. Timeline of events. Sunday, Joe Biden drops out. Kamala Harris announces campaign with Biden endorsement. Kamala Harris says she is going to work hard to earn the nomination. Kamala Harris makes calls to party delegates. Monday, Kamala Harris continues making calls to party delegates. Kamala Harris makes 2 public speeches. AP, that's the Associated Press, announces Kamala Harris has secured enough delegates to be the Democratic nominee. That happened Monday night. Kamala Harris releases this statement, noting she has worked hard to go out and earn this nomination as promised Monday night. A 24-hour process of talking to party bosses is not democratic, nor is it a process Democrats should be proud of. Because, they doing it in plain sight. They are tipping their hand letting everyone know they don't care about the things they claim they care about, especially when it involves black Americans. Continuing, we do not live in a dictatorship. And the Democratic Party is always going on and on about Donald Trump and fearing that he's going to be a dictator. Continuing, delegates are not oligarchs. They sure are acting like it. Installing Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee and an unknown vice president without any public voting process would make the modern Democratic Party a party of hypocrites. We call on the DNC to create a process that allows for public participation in the nomination process, not just a nomination by party delegates. That's not how it's supposed to go. Watch this. Statement from Vice President Kamala Harris on becoming the presumptive Democratic nominee for president. When I announced my campaign for president, I said I intended to go out and earn this nomination. Tonight, I am proud to have secured the broad support needed to become our party's nominee. And as a daughter of California, I am proud that my home state's delegation helped put our campaign over the top. I look forward to formally accepting the nomination soon. I am grateful to President Biden and everyone in the Democratic Party who has already put their faith in me, and I look forward to taking our case directly to the American people. This election will present a clear choice between two different visions. Donald Trump wants to take our country back to a time before many of us had full freedoms and equal rights. I believe in a future that strengthens our democracy, protects reproductive freedom, and ensures every person has the opportunity to not just get by, but to get ahead. Over the next few months, I will be traveling across the country, talking to Americans about everything that is on the line. I fully intend to unite our party, unite our nation, and defeat Donald Trump in November. Harris for president. Just so lovely, so lovely. I really sincerely hope that those of you who may be watching this, who actually consider yourselves either to be Democrats or you tend to vote blue no matter who, I hope you all can see that this party simply gaslights. They, every 4 years when it's time to elect the president, and every 2 years when there's other public offices coming up, what they do is, it irks me to no end, because they don't do any other ethnic group like this, but they always come at us, black Americans, with all these fear tactics, they paint a picture like basically as if we're going to be taken back into slavery. It is so egregiously disrespectful. And I hate the fact that black Americans tend to play right along into it, and they allow themselves to be brought to that place of fear, and they don't question anything. How in the world is this legal? How is this legal? They have subverted an entire process. Now, the Trump team, Donald Trump, and the Republican Party have filed a complaint regarding this very matter with whatever organization. What's the name of the organization? I have to find that. But they have filed a complaint about this process, which has totally subverted the public being able to vote their conscience. It's just totally disrespected people that vote Democratic. Just total extreme disrespect. I am just so outdone. And it's things like this that are the reason why a lot of people have just, a lot of black Americans have just been falling away from the Democratic Party. Some are waking up and they are sick and tired of things like this happening. These people are showing their level of panic. So I hope people are paying attention to that. They are showing their level of panic by how they move. Okay? Just watch how they move. Watch the things that they say, the things that they're doing, and how hypocritical they are. Everything that they accuse Donald Trump of, they will be actually in the process of doing that action. In the process of doing that very action that they allege that Donald Trump is doing. People, and especially my friends who are Christians, I want to say to them, people of God, please take another look at this party and what they're. And I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect, that it's God ordained or anything like that. But I surely feel myself that Christians can more safely publicly live their faith under the policies of the Republican Party versus the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party basically absconded. Kamala Harris has absconded with that whole nomination. And I think it is totally un-American. That is why my mom used to say this. And I'm trying to come up with the interpretation first. But basically, let me say it this way. This is why you can't melt Kamala Harris and pour her on me. That is why you cannot melt the woke Democratic Party and pour it on me. I'm not falling for it. No. They do not care about Americans. They do not care about black Americans. And they have demonstrated that by, Kamala having been assigned the border and its security, the fact that she has allowed the border to be in the shape that it's in, she hasn't even bothered to ever visit the border, and allowing all these foreigners to come in illegally. They are immigrating into our country illegally. That should show you that the Democratic Party does not care about you like they run around bragging that we do. Come on, black folks, over here, because we're the ones that care about you. The Republicans are racists. I never encountered so much racism than from the Democratic Party. When I make my, viewpoint known as far as what my decision is, because as an American citizen, I have a right to do that. Nobody has to listen, but I have a right to publicly say that. The trolls that come on to my feeds, my social media feeds, are always Democrats, racist Democrats. And they'll tell me You're black. Girl, get on the right team. Things like that. I could step away from the Republican Party right now. For the most part, nobody will say anything. They don't care. They're still going to do what they're going to do. But the way that Democrats rush in on my feeds and say the things that they say, you can't melt them and pour them on me. I won't stand for it. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you all for those of you who have not seen it, or those of you who may wonder what I think about the matter. And so, moving on, there's so much going on. And we're gonna keep watch on what they do with this situation. But right now, baby, a hot mess. It is a hot, scrambled, spicy mess. And they're doing it in plain sight. In plain sight. They are getting bold and brazen. More coming later. Thank you for listening, and you have a nice evening.